Peace, you guys. It's Earth Angel Hills. I know it's been a little minute, so today I'm gonna show you guys how to make a chain like this one, copper chain. This is I don't know what to call it, just like a double jump ring, strong, heavy duty copper chain. I sell a lot of these on my website. I actually make charm bracelets from them, which is what I'm making right now, which is why I decided let me do a quick lesson on this. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. First things first, if you want to show love or support for this tutorial, for what I do, you can leave a donation in the description below. I have my links to like Cashapp and to my website and whatnot. And also you can make a purchase to show your love and support. And then I have memberships that you can join on my channel. I'm gonna add another tier that's like $2 or something. YouTube does take half, but even that will help. Like, even if I could get, you know, a group of people to join the lowest tier, that would be very helpful to what I'm doing. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make this chain, and if you have any questions, please leave it in the description below. First, we're gonna go over the materials that we're gonna need. For the base of the wire, you are gonna need some 12 gauge wire. So this is 12 gauge copper wire. It's very strong, and that's what makes it heavy duty. And you can make a chain like this one without having to solder it closed for each link. Unless you have that amount of time, you have the tools, then you can solder each jump ring closed. But I don't solder these closed. I actually just solder the ones that are on the very end closed, and I'll show you that later on in the video. But yeah, you're gonna need some 12 gauge wire, right? 12 gauge copper wire to make these jump rings. I use the steel rod from Menards, which is like a local hardware store in my area. I use this steel rod to wrap the copper wire around to make the coil. And you're going to need pliers. These are good pliers to use. They have a good grip in them. These are from Home Depot. I'll try to add the product description. They're Husky brand, and they have a good grip in them, and they're flat nose pliers. So I recommend using these. What other tool? If you don't have a rod, you can use these jump ring pliers to make jump rings. They have like a round setting for different sizes. So you could make the coils using these as well if you don't have a rod. And then you're going to need some flush cutters. Also from Home Depot, the ones that I use, but flush is gonna get us a good cut. And you're also gonna need some flat nose pliers that don't have the rinds in the inside, that are smooth. Those are basically the tools that you should need. Aside from that, you're gonna need a saw. If you don't have a saw, you can use your flush cutters. But a saw will be the most effective way to make a neat chain that is strong. All right, so let's get started. I have a majority of my chain already completed, so I don't have to make like a huge coil. I'm just gonna make a coil to show you guys. I take my 12 gauge round wire, wrap it around my rod. I don't start wrapping like all the way up here. I start wrapping like at least this much. So I have like a little end piece to wrap around and work with. If you just practice that, you'll understand why I do it that way. If you do it this way, it'll be harder to continue wrapping with the longer end. So it's easier to just start like at least with this much loose end to start making your coil. So we're wrapping very tight. We don't want any space or gaps in this coil. So I'm wrapping it as tight as I can. And I want to finish off the loose end so that it's completely tucked and, you know, tightened and coiled around this rod. I like to get like at least like 10 rounds or so. What would be like 10 jump rings before I completely tuck this little loose end. We're gonna take those flat nose pliers that have the grip in it, and just fold it and pinch it in towards our steel rod. So now it looks like this. on the end. And with this long arm left, I'm just gonna cut it because I don't have to show you guys a whole lot. Like, I mean, I don't have to create a lot of this coil right now, so I have like this much left. Now, if you have a power drill, you're going to want to use a drill to finish this coil out because it'll just save you a lot of time and manpower. Power drill is from Home Depot. The brand is Ryobi, right? We're going to open it up, stick the rod in there with the coil. The coil needs to be gripped in the inside of the power drill as well. Once we've stuck that in there and is gripping it totally, we're making sure that the drill is going in the direction we need it to. If it's not, you just press the button right here to make sure that it is. And then I just fire it up, creating my coil. When it gets to the end, you gotta be careful not to like do it too fast. It can easily cut your thumb, cut your fingers. So when I get close to the end, I like to use the pliers that have a grip in them to hold the very end very tightly. And then I pinch it in to finish it off. Release the coil. Now we have this coil that we're using to create jump rings from. Here's the coil. Now we're gonna go over, we're gonna cut it. Watch my other videos, you'll know that I use this desk vial a lot. This is what it looks like. It's basically something that can hold it can hold everything in place for you. Like things that you need to sit still, you use this to hold it in place. So we're gonna use this to hold my coil in place. So if you're gonna be using a saw, you want to have your saw over here. I need this coil in place, so I'm putting it in my vial at an angle like this instead of, you can do it this way, but I like to do it like that. I'm gonna tighten it. Take my saw. I have a video on how to use this saw, which you can refer to if you're not familiar. Using my lube for the blade. And now we're going to cut to make jump rings. I sell jump rings on my website if you don't want to do this part of the process and you just want to make a chain. This is how you do it from scratch. And I like to use a bin or something underneath me to collect the jump rings that fall off from this coil. It's also good to wear like safety goggles or a mask to block the dust from getting in your nose. But this is 4 jump rings that I just made. I already have enough, so we're gonna go to the next step. I'm not gonna finish that coil on camera. The basis of how you start one of these chains is, okay, I'm gonna use these pliers. They also have a grip in them, but they're thinner. And I like to work with the ones that are thinner because I can get a better grip. These come from Home Depot in a package with the flush cutters. So we're gonna take one of our jump rings and open it like this. Open. Okay, the jump ring is now open. We're gonna feed 4 jump rings onto this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you got that 4, you can close this main jump ring up. Closing it shut, making sure it's nicely connected. And then we're gonna, these will have a little opening that we're gonna close up individually. Just aligning it each side together. And then we're gonna take another jump ring and open it up all the way. opening this loose jump ring up. And we're gonna, there's two ways you can do it. You have two, the main one, two down here. You could feed this loose one through all four again, which is the way I'm gonna do it. That's how I do it when I start. It gives you a quicker way to start off. Or you could just put it through two. No, just put it through all four. So this loose one goes through all the four that went around the main one. When you do that, it's going to look like two up at the top, and then you have like four. But when you release it, it'll fall like this to where you have two, two, two. And that is the basis of the chain. If that seemed complicated, then you can just simply start by having, just connecting two to one another. Just connect one jump ring, put two on one, close it, take another jump ring, open it, put it through two, so that now you have two and two, and then through two, you put one through two, close it, put one through that same two, close it, and you have two, two, and two, just like we just did. But the way I did was just a little bit quicker than this. That's how you start it. And then you just keep going. You have two, you put one through the two, and then you add another one through those same two. You just put the one through. And that will be a chain. So if you keep going, it'll eventually turn into this chain, and that'll be that. And then the only thing you have to do after that is create endings for your chain. You can get creative, do it how you like. Like I said, I like to solder my ending jump rings closed. These ending jump rings are bigger than the ones that I used for the chain loops. It's just a little bit bigger, if you can see that. So it's soldered closed because I closed it. If you don't know how to solder, I have a video, a live stream I did on soldering. But basically, you just put a little solder. I use solder paste because it already has flux and solder inside of it. So you just literally squeeze a little of the solder onto the flush cut of your jump ring, and then take your torch and heat around it until it melts and a little smoke comes out, and then you know it's soldered closed. So this is soldered closed, which means I can't open it anymore. So I'm gonna have to open the jump rings that aren't soldered to attach it to my chain. So I opened one, I put this closed jump ring on the base of the chain. It's closed. I'm gonna take one more and add it. That one through the two. Okay, so now I have an ending that is a little distinctive from the rest of the chain. And this person ordered an 8.5. You have to account how much the clasp takes up in length if you're gonna get a precise measurement. This is 7 inches, but when I add another jump ring to the end and a clasp, it'll get me to about 8.5, which is what I need. But I'm actually gonna add like 2 more loops for this. Okay, now I want to add the closed jump ring on this end as well. So you should essentially have 2 closed jump rings. If you don't close them, it's okay. The 12 gauge is like strong enough to hold, but it's just extra reinforcement. So closed jump ring here, closed your jump ring here. So we have 2 endings on this chain. So it's just about complete. One last step is that we need a clasp to connect it. I make my own clasp. I have a video on how I did that, on how to make a hook clasp. So refer to that video to figure out this next step. I will show it on camera, but I'm not gonna do too much of a detail because there's an actual video that shows how I do this, how I make these hooks. I put these on the ends of all of my pieces. And when I'm making it for this chain in particular, usually I use 16 gauge, but for this chain, I use the same 12 gauge that I use to create the links in this chain, because the 12 gauge is the strongest that I work with typically. I mean, I work with 8 gauge, but that would just be entirely too big for this design. I'm gonna flatten this in my rolling mill and then I'll add it to my chain. Flatten things by hammering it or putting it in a rolling mill, it makes it stronger and less likely to break over time. I have to open this part up of my link because remember the ending jump ring is closed, so it can't be opened, which means I have to open whatever else attaches to it. So I opened it and I hooked it on to that jump ring, and I'm gonna close it shut. Close, close. Now I've completed the bracelet. I have a hook and it can go right onto there. That's what the bracelet looks like. And it's so strong. Look how hard I'm pulling. You can hear it in my voice, how hard. You can see it in my arm. I'm pulling it very tight. And this is a very strong bracelet that is gonna be nice and heavy duty. That's why I call it my heavy duty bracelet, because someone that's very doing active force and stuff like that, this will be good for them because it's gonna stay strong. But this in particular, I'm going to be adding charms to this bracelet because this is a charm bracelet order. So I'll be adding little charms to dangle from this bracelet. But that was the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it was clear and concise. If you have questions, ask them. As a reminder, if you want to support my channel, please do so by buying something from my website, sending a donation through my website or through my Cash app. Also, you can send a super chat here through YouTube, and you can watch my videos. That really helps. Share them with people. Subscribe. I have a community tab on my page here on YouTube where you can share images of what you've created so I can see your work as well. I look forward to that. Not many people have utilized that. I think only Andre has used that feature. So I hope that other people will be inspired to share their creations and what you're learning from what I teach, and just from your own creative path journey, so we can help to keep each other inspired as we're creating. That's it, guys. That's how you make this chain. I sell this chain on my website. It's a really nice chain, and I make it into a necklace, choker as well, and an anklet. So it's versatile. It has many different purposes. So, and it could even be used on your pants. So, I'm trying to show y'all that. It could even be used on pants. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.